Alright everyone, welcome back. In this module, we're stepping into the advanced side of investigative work where cases get messy, stories don't line up, and you need more than basic interviewing skills to figure out what actually happened. This module is all about three big things: credibility assessment, evidence synthesis, and defensible findings. Let's walk through what that really means in practice. First, we talk about credibility and, not in the old school, I trust this person because they seem confident way. The module makes it clear that credibility has to be assessed through structure, not gut instinct. We look at things like plausibility, consistency, corroboration, motive, opportunity, and reliability. And we remind ourselves that how someone talks or behaves in an interview doesn't tell us whether they're lying. As the module puts it, credibility shouldn't be based on personal impressions, assumptions, or a witness's confidence, emotional response, or communication style. A big part of this is separating credibility from reliability. Someone can be totally honest but still wrong because their memory is flawed, they misunderstood something, or trauma affected how they encoded the event. Module 11 spends time on these advanced witness factors: honest but mistaken witnesses, trauma-influenced memory, coach testimony, reluctant witnesses, and those very confident but very inaccurate storytellers we all meet from time to time. Next, we get into structured credibility tools. Instead of relying on intuition, we use matrices, weighted factors, and documented reasoning. When accounts conflict as they often do, we break them down systematically. We separate facts that everyone agrees on from facts in dispute, we map timelines, we look for material inconsistencies, and we check whether similarities between stories are coincidence or collusion. And importantly, we don't just say, "We believed witness A," we explain why their version made more sense. From there, the module moves into evidence synthesis, which is really the heart of advanced investigative work. This is where you stop looking at evidence as isolated pieces and start building a coherent narrative. You're integrating testimonial evidence, documents, digital artifacts, physical evidence, and organizational records. The module reminds us that evidence synthesis requires more than simply compiling information. You need to connect the dots, test alternative explanations, identify gaps, and make sure your conclusions actually flow from the evidence. We also use analytical tools: timelines, link charts, event matrices, relationship maps to help visualize complex cases and make sense of competing information. Finally, we get to defensible findings. This is where you apply the balance of probabilities standard and explain your reasoning clearly. You show how the evidence supports your conclusions, you separate facts from assumptions, and you communicate your confidence level. The module gives a structured framework for documenting your reasoning so your findings are transparent, objective, and able to withstand scrutiny. And it doesn't stop at the case level. It reminds us that investigations are also a source of organizational intelligence. When done well, they reveal systemic risks, cultural issues, policy gaps, and control weaknesses. They help organizations learn, improve, and prevent future problems. The module wraps up with a practical exercise where you apply everything: credibility assessment, evidence synthesis, reasoning, and report writing to a complex multi-allegation scenario. It's the bridge between theory and real investigative competence. So that's in a nutshell: structured thinking, disciplined analysis, and clear, defensible conclusions. It's about moving from collecting information to truly understanding what happened and being able to explain it in a way that stands up to scrutiny.